Yeah.
So I'm glad you put that out there because relationships, whether they're in between the countries or in between people, are the most important thing that people sleep on. You know what hurts me? I had to get older to appreciate life instead of being taught how to love life. See, my upbringing was more isolated.
Okay.
I wasn't around people too heavy to appreciate people. And it wasn't until a friend of mine had to die that I had to really understand that life is bigger than myself. Let me tell you what I mean. A young man gets murdered in the street. Not only is that young man's family hurting, I'm hurting. Because that was somebody's baby. And that person's baby was a part of the bigger picture of what my life encompasses. And I think, especially in media, which is used to facilitate the destruction of our people on such a high level, the relationships of love and respect, honor, what you said earlier, damn it, I'm bugging out. But respect and all those things are lost.
Yeah.
Discipline, that's all lost because we're not fully looking at who we are and what we stand for. In the hip hop generation, it seems like we now have no identity. How do you feel about that?
As far as the identity of hip hop or the no identity of blacks?
Everything.
Well, as far as hip hop has become more so a globalized corporation than music from the heart of a people who wanted to fight out against oppression and suffering. A voice for the voiceless. You know, the music of rebels, that's what hip hop was. The graffiti, the break dancing, the dancing was rebellious. We on the floor pop locking, in the middle trying to make some money. The lyrics is telling you to go to hell, and other lyrics is telling you to party. And then you had you know, the way we dressed, it defied the odds. You know, look how this guy dressed with the leather and the spikes and the belt buckles. You thought these guys were going to hurt you, but they're minding their business. And then it became globalized with Adidas, the first endorsement deal. That's when they figured, hey, we can make money off of these guys. We can make the lion's share and give them the small portion. Once they figured that out, that they take the lion's share of the money and the ownership and give you the peanuts and what they call fame, that's going to be very fleeting. The hip hop artists didn't wise up. Once they didn't wise up and they went for the trinket, they were able to be trapped into those contracts, make all of this great music, and I own it. Meanwhile, here's your $100,000 that I'm going to recoup from you anyway, from videos, concert tours, anything you used as extra, that's coming back to me, so you have nothing but a royalty of what, 5%? So when that happened in hip hop, it caused everybody to influx to want to be a rapper because of the fame, but then it caused people who were rappers not to, like you said, not to put other people on because they knew the trappings. I'm trapped into this for 5 albums, and I'm only on my second album, I'm broke. I don't want to give those next 3 albums, but now I can't go anywhere else, now my career's over. And then you're thinking, man, you sold all, hey, you working at Photomat. You know what I'm saying? Or you working at AutoZone. So the no identity in hip hop is right. We have no identity because we don't have ownership. We don't have distribution. We don't have the ownership of the masters. We don't have the manufacture of the videos. We don't have the station to put the content on there properly. Everything we need to do in hip hop is owned by someone else who doesn't have your best interests at hand. They want the quick buck and you're expendable. Once that started happening, they push these rappers in and out. And they're not even good rappers. You make 3 songs and you're hot and you get an award. Next you know they got another one next year.
That's funny that you say that because even by watching the BET Cypher this year, I was horrified at how bad it was. And it's got steadily worse year to year with some standouts. And the identity of hip hop reflects the sign of the times.
Right.
We live in a time where the leader of the free world is a misogynist dog, you know, but still the best presidents ever.
And the xenophobe.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And we have people of color standing up for him like Kanye, Candace, was it Owens?
Yeah, Candace Owens.
Even Ice-T said, you're not a racist. And it goes to the point where you're like, damn, who do I trust? And what did Scarface say? Me, that's who. Right. But people are not even trusting themselves because we live in a society where people would rather stare at their phone and not look at the danger that's in front of them.
Right.
What do you say to that?
Well, what it is, it's a shiny trinket. Instead of focusing on where the work needs to come in, you're focusing on what entertains you. Once you focus on entertainment as opposed to responsibility, you're doomed. I have a responsibility, but I'm focusing on what makes me smile and what makes me lazy. I'm focusing on what takes my focus off of my goal. That's making me happy. Next thing you know, 3-4 years done went by and I made no progress. But I know every social thing on Facebook and Instagram, which doesn't even exist anymore. But I neglected what I needed to neglect as a man and as a human being to move forward in life. That's what it is. As far as Ice-T and those guys making those comments, they're trying to keep their bag. They're trying to keep the security of the money that they think they've made. So they don't want to offend anyone. If you notice, Ice-T, he used to say, fuck the police. Now he is the police. How long he been on that show? He went from doing cop killer to being a cop. I mean, I respect his transition and his hustle, but what happened to your rebellion? What happened was he got cut a check. Now he's not mad anymore. And that's where the identity of hip hop went. Once they start cutting those checks, you're not rebellious anymore. You're not saying fuck the police and fuck the system. Now you're rapping about champagne and fly clothes. You were telling me how to get along in business and how to miss these potholes. Now when you got that big check, you can't rap about that anymore because he who pays you controls you. And if I take away your money, you're going to be poor again. Yes, sir, master. Party and bullshit. When first we was talking revolution, get your mind right, respect your black woman. Now we talk about fuck every woman you can see and fuck your boy's mother and fuck your man's girl and I'll drink and then I'll kill you. That's where the check is being cut.
Or here's the one that they said on the BT cipher. I know a rapper with a purse with a gun in it. I know a rapper with a purse with a gun in it. That was a line he kept saying over and over in the comedy cipher. And I'm like, that's really not funny. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And Nina Simone said music is supposed to reflect the times in which we live in. Steve Harvey said a person said to him in his education, you know a people by the music that they make. And with a lot of the music that is made for the embetterment of the people, it's not being played.
That's right.
We got Tekashi, who just got a deal to come back out.
$10 million.
Amazing, but you got great talents like
Little
Samad
Brother.
Savage
Or Little Brother.
not getting that amount of money.
Or Drift Kojo.
Drift is a beast for years.
Tasha Lang for The Abyss.
Who had to check Jermaine Dupri on his thing about all female, well not all, but the majority of female rappers in the mainstream are strippers and they don't have no bars.
See what I'm saying? So you got a lot of great Haas McMillan, Brother Haas. You got a lot of great rappers, but this music, since we're enthusiasts of the culture as well as the sound, we search for these people. We search for these albums. We know these artists like Grumpy Old Man.
Shout out to Grump.
You know what I'm saying? He's been on a lot of people albums. And we search for this music because we love the culture. We love the sound. I don't want to hear it all day long, do anything for clout. They do anything for clout. I don't want to hear that hypnotizing, syncopated rhythm of bullshit. So what happens is, once you have to search for this music, it makes you null and void to the radio always anyway. I don't even listen to the radio.
No, me neither.
I listen to music. I listen to stations that play music now. And now when I want to hear some hip hop, I go to what I bought, Samad Savage. You know what I'm saying? I listen to Gail Campbell's album. I listen to the Abyss album. You know, so I listen to Haas and Grumpy's album. I listen to what Drift do on Instagram and YouTube. I listen to these artists. I go to the battle rappers and listen to them, you know, somehow come up with these, you know, well, they had prep time and they come up with these freestyles that they prepared and they sound great. But the sound of the music, it does reflect the sign of the times, but we're talking about the popular music. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of other great music out there that's also reflecting the sign of the times. Hot 97 fell off years ago. They're not playing anything that matters. Power 105 is following suit. If you ever notice, both those stations go on commercial at the exact same time. Yeah. If you listen to these hip hop stations, they both go on commercial at the same time because they're trying to compete with each other, but they're owned by the same outlet. So they're not actually Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme, same people. Coke and Pepsi, Sprite, 7-Up, they're not in competition. They're just using different avenues to get money from different sources.
And you know they actually meet to tell each other what their menus are going to be and see how they do before the next year. It's called fiscal sobriety, everybody.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
they're not in competition.
And I ask you this question because Shout out to A Squad Rebel Radio.
A Squad is the
The baddest internet radio station in the land.
Owned by Big Zay and Face.
That's right. And the reason why I say shout out to them, it's not even because of what we do with them. It's because of what it represents. And what it represents is the element of what hip hop was that doesn't exist anymore. And that's holding your nuts and standing up against the system.
Pretty much. And being creative and innovative and cutting edge.
Sports, music, and talk radio on the same station.
Easily. They got something for it. And they have women up there representing the Pink Elephant, Queen's Link. There's another show, Shay Monroe. So they have ladies up there representing their queendom. They got the men up there coming hard in the paint. They got Grumpy representing the hip hop. You understand? They got No Justice, No Peace with Dr. Figueroa, who comes and lets you know what's in your fucking face and what you need to concentrate on. They got Off the Top Sports with June Pierre. They got Trash Talk, one of the hottest shows out there. They got Bad Talk, you know, where the ladies talk how they want to talk and let you know you ain't gonna judge us because we live in our truth. You, like I said, Trash Talk, one of the hottest shows out there. That woman and her brother, they got a yin and yang connection. So. And H Squad Rebel Radio gave me a voice. It all started with Brandy K, who has Brandon Brandy at 8 p.m. We worked together at a preschool. I was a substitute fill-in teacher, and she was a one-to-one. She told me about what she did on the internet. I was like, wow, that's interesting. And I would help her brainstorm topics. And she said, oh. And I told her about Scumbag Steve as a character. And she said, okay. She did me a favor. She believed in me, introduced me to Zay. And because Zay believed in Brandy, he believed in me. He brought me to the station, gave me a voice, allowed me to use the platform to reach the medium, to become the character that I created, to help me and guide me along the way. Him and Face are co-owners. They both believed in me, and they gave me the platform and said, use it how you need to use it. So respect to that whole step, how it happened, from Brandy to Zay to Meeting Face to Grumpy to the whole platform. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be, I mean, I am Scumbag Steve. I am Stephen McCaster. I created what I am, but they let me use their platform to grow and to be groomed and to get polished. So I got to salute the whole vehicle.
And that's what it's all about, because that's what hip hop is missing. Hip hop is missing us having each other's backs and being a fortified union of people. Shout out to Chief Bally. Oh, that's my guy.
Oh yeah, Chief Bally, the Reefer Show. You know, the Bally album.
120 Bally album.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
They get up there and do
Blues 360.
Yeah, they get up there and do him and Barry. They get up there to do recreational relaxation, and they rate the music. So
that's right.
You got something for everyone up there. You just have to support this black-owned vehicle. Support A Squad Rebel Radio. If they're doing something, support them. Share the shows. Let these two black men grow into something greater, because they're giving everyone a platform to grow into something greater themselves.
Exactly. So if everybody out there that's seen this part of the interview, it's all about not competition, but complementing each other.
That's right.
Because we're not all in each other's lanes, but we all are in each other's societies, and we have to build each other up to make it better.
And that's why I can say I got the #1 show on the planet Earth, because I'm in no one else's lane but mine. Bad Talk, those ladies say they got the #1 show on the planet Earth because no one is in their lane but them. So when you talk about how great your show is and how great your movement is, yes, no one's in that lane but you. So you have to exploit it and be the best you can be, or you're just wasting your platform. And if you don't believe it, no one else will.